What's going on, y'all? I've got a video from The Wall. Let's get into it.
People are after they graduate college, like the early mid-20s crisis. You have another one in your early 30s, especially as a man, because you realize that, oh my God, I'm in my 30s now. And you either realize you want to continue to send it for the next few years before you hit your mid-30s, or you're like, oh, now I want to maybe get married or have like a serious prospect of a girlfriend. Or
I do get this question a lot, are you single by choice? And I know a lot of you want me to say, no, I'm not single by choice. Nobody wants to get with me because I called myself a sluzzer for like 2 years online. But that is not the truth. You know, people that are emotionally mature don't really care about that kind of thing. And that is from real studies that I've done myself through dating, okay? Maybe a few of them care, but
Exactly. Stop
who
that.
cares? Am I single by choice? I don't know. Do I want a boyfriend? Yes. Can I be asked to find one? No.
Sounds like she's saying that for men, body count doesn't matter. You guys really have to. Oh, if they mature, they wouldn't care. Why would they not care? If you were mature, you wouldn't care about a man's bank account and him not being able to handle his finances correctly. Come on, guys.
It's actually hell out there. Like, it's hell. It's hell. Especially as you get older. Guys, I'm freaking out. I can't be asked. And like, I want to have kids in like 2 or 3 years. And it's not looking good for me right now. Just a lot of effort. And I don't know if you guys have been on first dates. Like, if you've been on a first date, they're not fun. First dates are rarely fun. Like, I've probably been on 2 fun first dates in my whole life. So yes, I am single by choice now, but in the grand scheme of things, I do want a boyfriend. It's just like
It sounds like she's going around in circles trying to figure out how to say that she's not coping. I spent my earlier years acting a plumb fool, not committing to somebody. I was out there just doing whatever I wanted to do. And not only was I doing it out there, I was online telling them this is what I'm up to. Just so y'all know, just to keep an online journal diary. Just so y'all know, I was out here misbehaving. I wasn't doing what I was supposed to be doing. I was acting like I wasn't supposed to be acting. Y'all gonna have it. And then I'm going to come back and say, I know I was saying that, but now I want a boyfriend. And men don't care about that. Huh. Well, actually, a few of them care. Oh, that's what we was trying to tell you.
These men who want to go 50-50 with the woman are the same men who complain that she's not feminine enough. Here's what I have to say about it as a dating coach. And if you're seeing me for the first time, hi, my name is Shanza. I am a dating coach. I have helped numerous women go from single to married. And here's the thing. I am anti 50-50 100%. My husband is a sole provider. Even though I run my own business, even though I have my own money, my man is the one taking care of all the bills, the leadership, the initiation. He is full masculine energy, and that's how I prefer it, because I was definitely a 50-50 girl myself before, and it really took a toll on my physical health, my mental health, and it took me out of my feminine energy, and I really felt like I was stuck in survival mode.
Exactly.
And it was extremely unattractive. And 50-50 is what causes problems in relationships.
You can go ahead and stop lying now. You can go ahead and stop that right now. It literally, go ahead.
Because the men, again, the same men, it's like the podcast men, right? They talk about how women should be a partner and the woman should go half and half, except that they are unable to maintain their end of the barter. They do not go half and half on chores. They actually are the ones that then want you to be more feminine. They want you to not talk back. They want you to not make them feel controlled. But in actuality, if I'm paying half the bills, then I am asking you questions about what you're doing with your money. And, I am coming at you like a partner, and I will ask you questions because money's involved. Bottom line, even though men say they want a partner and they want a woman that will go 50-50 with them because the economy is so hard and yada, 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 don't listen to them. Don't get out of your feminine energy just to keep a man. It's not worth it.
Stop it. Get some help.
It's just a bunch of foolishness, really, honestly and truly. Statistically speaking, there are, most Americans are doing the 50-50, and that means that it is a two-income household, right? So there are two people that are working outside the home that are bringing their finances into the home and paying. Maybe he pays a light bill or whatever it might be, and she pays the rent, or vice versa, or they both go half on the rent. The point of 50-50, in my opinion, is just that you guys are both working and paying the bills, splitting the chores, so on and so forth. Do I think that men should probably help her out around the house? Probably so, right? But I think there are other things that men do that women just are not going to do. Period. End of story, full stop. And then they want the man to do all of those manly things and then come inside the house and help when they're not willing to. If we are talking about equally partners and you're going to run your mouth and all the yada yada stuff, you come out here and help on some of this other stuff that you don't want to do. Okay, then, exactly. Now be quiet.
A lot of words.
I used to be a girl that was completely okay with splitting the bill, going 50-50 on relationships, whether that's a first date, second date, boyfriend, girlfriend kind of thing, until I realized two things that I'm sharing with y'all so that you can learn from my personal mistakes. The first one is, I kept on getting broken up with by guys, and I'd realized that my bank account has like $500 to $1,000 less in it because of the relationship. And that is not an exaggeration. That's not even for like super long-term relationships either. And I was just like, I can afford to do this. I just don't want to. There's better uses for like $1,000 of my money than some man that's going to break my heart.
Stop. So does that help you to understand why men don't want to continue paying for dates for women that are not interested? Because their bank account gets lighter. But of course, you're not going to draw that conclusion, that correlation. You're not going to do that. You're going to keep on, tell them, just keep on paying the bill. You just keep on paying for everything. I'm going to stop because my bank account is getting lighter.
Number two, and this is the bigger one, if a guy is not willing to pay for a date with you,
Bingo.
There is always going to be someone
Told
out there
you.
he's willing to pay for a date for. I didn't really realize this until I was having a conversation with my boyfriend at the time, who became my ex-boyfriend 24 hours later because he broke up with me on the phone. And he told me that he had gone on like 3 dates with a girl from Hinge, like shortly before we were dating, which is fine. I love talking about dating stories. I think it's fun. And then he said, yeah, I don't know how much longer I could have gone out with her for because I just couldn't afford to anymore. And I was like, what do you mean? Like, I knew he wasn't completely broke. And he was like, yeah, like I had to pay for the dates, and I couldn't have kept on doing that. And I don't really get mad at a lot of things with people anymore, but that just genuinely very upset me because for every date basically we'd been on, it had been kind of 50-50. For anything that he paid for, I offered to pay for the next time, and he gladly accepted and let me do that. So it just baffled me that he paid for 3 dates with somebody that he even said he didn't really like that much and didn't have much in common with.
But he also said that he couldn't keep that up. Well, I know you're not broke, but I can't keep that up, which is what most men are saying. If I'm going to have to pay for a date like this, something's got to give. You don't understand that. How do you not understand that? How are you baffled when you just said at the beginning of the clip, your bank account usually ends up $500 to $1,000 less. And so when he's saying, yeah, my bank account is ending up real light right now, and now you're baffled?
And so after I pressed him on this, I was like, well, what do you mean? Like, was she holding you hostage and like you had to pay? Like, how would it be awkward, like, not to pay? And he did not elaborate beyond that. But I would say personally for me, even if somebody like doesn't have their wallet, like,
you know the answer to
thing,
that.
it's fine.
You know the answer to that. You're acting crazy, silly.
But it just really kind of like changed my perspective on something. And after that, I was like, if he didn't break up with me, I would have broken up with him. Anyways,
Okay.
As hurtful as it was at the time, I'm really glad I had that conversation and kind of came to that realization. And I realized Everyone may not agree with me, but that's fine. These are my experiences. And I actually would like to kind of hear what other people's opinions are, because I feel like this is an interesting kind of issue just in relationships, feminism right now. So I'd love to hear kind of other people's takes and thoughts on splitting the bill.
I think he did what he thought was right. Personally, for me, I paid for the dates whenever I was going out with my wife. She did offer to pay, I think, every single date, to be honest with you. And one time she tried to kind of bogart me. He kind of moved me out the way. I think I put my card down, and she put hers down there, and I tried to take her card back up, and she tried to do the same thing, and it got a little tension there for a little bit. But I said, no, let me get it, right? And I think most men would like that, for a woman to be like, no, I really want to get it. I really want to help. I really want to contribute to this relationship. Even if a man is in the relationship and he's paying all the bills, and a woman's handing him, hey, here's some money for the groceries or the electricity bill or something like that. These women aren't looking to do any of that. Not at all. The man loves to provide and he loves to protect. But when he's seeing that you're not trying to do anything, then that's, in my opinion, for me, I would feel like I'm being taken advantage of. Okay, so here's the other half of the video from the earlier clip. Let's go.
If a man wants to go 50-50, it's because he's broke. Majority of the times, he doesn't even have enough money to support himself. So what do these broke men do? These broke boys, they will go and find ambitious single women who are emotionally insecure. And then they love bomb you, and they make you think that, oh, this is what relationships are about. You're supposed to get with someone in the name of love, and then you build life together. In the end, when you help him become the man he wants to be, when you help his bank account upgrade, that's when he leaves you and he goes and finds himself a feminine energy woman. So do not be a woman who builds a man up. Instead, be a woman who is in her feminine energy so that you can be with a man who's already established.
I'm going to tell you right now, if I were to show this to my sister, she'd be like, what the heck is she talking about? And they've been married 11, 12 years, just celebrated a wedding anniversary. If I were to show this to my parents, who are still married after 40, 50 years, they'd be like, what the heck is she talking about? Anybody in my family that's married that I would show this to, even those who aren't married, they'd be like, what the heck is she talking about? This is foolishness. You might be, a lot of people are like, oh, well, I just want to get married, and marriage is a milestone, but marriage is not the end all be all at all. At all. That's just the beginning. That's the very start. If you paranoid and always looking over your shoulder, that's not going to work, man. These women I don't know how you're going to do it with your mindset. These women, please God, don't let that man lose out on what he's doing, on being able to provide, because you're going to leave that, with the way you're talking, you're going to leave that man. You're not going to hold him down. He going to have to get out there and, oh man, you lost your job. You lost your ability to provide. I can't be with a man like that. Oh man, I'm not going to build no man. I got to find a man that's already established. I don't know, man. The way you talking making me nervous.
So you're not the one being left after being used and wasted your time, energy, and money to help build someone's dusty son. Instead, be with a well-established or already established healthy masculine energy man who wants to provide for you. If you're ready to go from attracting lazy, broke man-childs to attracting high-quality provider mindset, healthy masculine men, I highly, highly encourage you to check out the link in my bio.
Buzzwords. That's really all that is. Like I said, you can get them married, but how long are they going to stay married? And I pray to God that something flips and they understand that we're in this together. It's not me against you. But honestly, that's just my opinion on that. Going back to the young lady who she was going 50-50 with a man. I would say to you, Yeah, you can expect them to pay for the date, right? But it's no harm in saying I don't mind. I want to offer to pay. Sometimes in dating, what I've noticed when I was dating, people, and I came to this, I was about to do it myself, where I would extend and I would, give people something and they wouldn't give it in return. And I would be frustrated. And I said, you know what? I'm going to do this. I'm going to be like that. And I'm going to I'm not going to say this. And I'm not going to do this. And I'm going to really pull back and I'm going to make them show me. And really, I did a lot of thinking about it. And after a while, I was like, that's not who I am. And the first date that I went on, which I think happened to be with my wife now, I said, you know what, I'm just going to hold it. And I was still saying that to myself. But the more we started to talk on the first date, then I was like, you know what, I'm not going to do that. Because that's not me. I'm not going to waste all my money. But, I'm not going to allow these women to change who I am. Because that's just me. I'm just a nice dude. And if you want to act a clown, then I need to get better at spotting you out. And that's why I started having phone calls and FaceTimes, because I wouldn't walk out the house if I didn't like it. If I didn't like the way they looked or they didn't look like their pictures, I wouldn't walk out the house. And at the end of a conversation, I have a 3-4 hour conversation with them. I take the night and just talk with them. Pleasant people, pleasant conversation. But after all that, I'd be like, I'd either send a text or, most of the time I'd be talking to them on the phone. Usually after that first conversation, I'd say, I think you're a nice person because of this, and this. But then I would explain to them, I'd say, but I don't think that we go together for X, Y, and Z reasons. And sometimes I had a few that pouted and they got upset. And I tried to be friends with them and they didn't want to be friends. And, they tried to weasel back in and say, no, we need to be together. That sort of thing. I was like, no, that's not going to happen. And eventually, after them doing all that, I said, hey, man, we just need to keep it where it is. They didn't want that. So they ended up getting blocked. So, and that's kind of the way it needs to be. But I said to myself, I'm going to keep it. I'm going to keep it rolling. And when I met my wife, then I told her everything that I felt was important. Paid for dates and stuff like that. And it's working out. And even now she helps out wherever she can, how she can. Still got to get used to being around each other. Still got to learn each other's quirks, what each other doesn't like, what each other likes. That's still going to happen. But like I said, I'm not going to let some loser stop me from being who I was. Because if I stop being who I am, then that tears at my integrity. That tears at who I am as a person. That tears at my character. And I ain't about to do that for somebody that don't know they head from a hole in the ground, as my dad used to say. But anyway, that's my rant and my opinion. Until the next video, I'm out.